Good evening. Thank you for being here this afternoon. Just a few comments from me, if I could. I'd like to certainly express the condolences of the St. Louis County Police Department regarding the Schmidt family. I've been doing this over 32 years. Every homicide is a tragedy. Every sexual assault is a tragedy. But every once in a while, this was one of those times, there's something remarkable about it. And in this case, I found it just very untoward. It shocked the senses. So I want to make sure that the Schmidt family understands that they have the St. Louis County Police Department's condolences, and I believe they have the condolences of our broader community. I want to thank the victims, the surviving victims, for the courage. I want to thank them for their courage and cooperation with these detectives that arrayed to the side of me. I want to thank the public. I want to thank the public for the hundreds of leads that came in on this case. I want to thank the cooperations of the businesses in the area and along Manchester Road. I want to talk a little bit about the dedication of these detectives. Ladies and gentlemen, they worked tirelessly since Monday on this case. They didn't rest, they didn't take a break. They kept going, like they do in many cases that don't get this type of recognition. And I can't tell you how proud I am of these detectives. I'd like to thank the FBI. I had an opportunity to liaise with the special agent in charge and his staff since Monday regarding this. The FBI has been very helpful on some parts of evidence that we're trying to gather, or we have gathered, I should say, in this case. And I'd like to thank Mr. McCulloch, our prosecuting attorney, for the careful consideration in this case. I'll be available for some questions after Mr. McCulloch speaks and talks specifically about the charges. And I would like to present to you our prosecuting attorney, Mr. Belmar.
Echo to a part of what the Chief Belmar had to say about our sympathies going out to the family. It is, as you mentioned, every homicide is a tragedy. A case like this is just especially heartbreaking. You see what went on, what happened, and just the senselessness of all of it that went on. Just how it all came about and everything that went. So we will do our best to meet with the family when they're ready to sit down and talk and go through the process with them. But suffice it to say at this point that we filed a total of 14 counts against Thomas Bruce. Bruce has been identified as the person who entered the store and committed these variety of crimes. He's been charged with murder in the first degree, 3 counts of sodomy, 3 counts of kidnapping, burglary, tampering with evidence, and 8 counts of armed criminal action. That's 1 count for the major charges that are in there. The tampering deals with attempting to dispose of some of the clothing that was ultimately recovered. And echo again the work of the police department and people in my office, assistants and investigators in the office who working with the police to kind of keep this going and provide whatever assistance they need in terms of advice, warrants, search warrants, and the like. There's still a great deal of investigation ongoing. There'll be several search warrants issued. Mr. Bruce, as we can tell at this point, has no criminal record, although he is still being run through several national databases that may very well turn up some additional information. So as it stands right now, they said he's charged with the 14 counts. As you know, murder in the first degree carries a potential death sentence. The kidnappings are all Class A felonies carrying up to life in prison. The tampering with the evidence of burglary first carries up to 15 years. The armed criminal actions, a minimum of 3. And the tampering up to an additional 4 years in the penitentiary. And I think I mentioned that the tampering deals with his attempt to dispose of the clothing that he was wearing at the time of these horrific acts. So with that, if I didn't say it, I meant to, that like every criminal defendant, Mr. Bruce is presumed innocent unless until proven guilty, and these are mere allegations at this point.
Mr. McCulloch, will you seek the death penalty?
Well, you know, the aggravating circumstances are certainly there. That's part of it, and it's, as you know, Kevin, from over years, it's a process that takes some time. So the aggravators are there. There's other stuff to look at. There's more information that will be coming in. It is not something that will be able to be completed before the end of the year. So the next prosecutor administration will have to make that final decision. But certainly the aggravating circumstances exist.
Any idea what fuel